Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. I want to welcome you to the webinar this afternoon. I hope that you're doing very well. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. And as we get started here in December, folks, we're only just a few weeks here away from 2025. Can you believe this? This is amazing how quickly the year's going. But we are looking forward to spending the next hour with you over the webinar this afternoon. I'm going to be taking your questions as we go through this afternoon. So if you've got some questions you'd like to ask me, I've got the Q&A box already opened and ready to go. Again, my name is Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon for today's topic, Unlock Your Future with Medical Billing. I want to spend some time going over some of the pieces and the parts of what we have here at American Business Systems that's going to help you launch your medical billing business or your business in anything that you might be doing. And so we'll have a great afternoon this afternoon. So, all right. So, folks, again, I've got the Q&A box open. I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, to go ahead and start putting in your name over in that area and maybe just where you're from. You don't have to put your name. Your name will pop up over there. But if you'll just put the city, maybe the state that where you're dialing in from this afternoon, I would appreciate it. So we got Eric from California. Good to see you. Appreciate you joining us this afternoon. I know we got some other folks here. So let's see if they'll jump on here again. All right, let's get started. Again, as I say, if you just find that Q&A box, put in just the state that you're located in, or maybe if you want to put the city in there, you can. And it just helps me to make sure that I'm being heard okay. All right, my name is Eric Auger. I will be your host this afternoon for the webinar. And it's great to be able to spend the Wednesday after Thanksgiving with you. I hope that you had a good one. Melee from California. So I got a couple of folks from California. I wonder if we have anybody from the East Coast. Y'all go ahead and type in your state there. Hope you had a great time with your family and your friends. I hope you had time to give thanks to everything that you have for. And as you're starting to look for your business opportunity, as you are looking either to make a job change or a major shift in what you're wanting to do as a business owner, I hope to hear that you'll learn what we can from us here at American Business Systems. Okay, Teresa's from North Carolina. Good to have you here. All right, let me share a little bit about American Business Systems with you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Some of you have already heard this before. So bear with me as I kind of go through this. American Business Systems has been around for over 30 years. We're about to celebrate 31 years here at American Business Systems. It's so good to be a part of the family here at American Business Systems. They've been good to my family, and they've been helpful to other families. Just to let you know, if you ever want to know, you might want to know that if I've owned my own medical billing company, and I have actually owned two of them. But those things have led me into other areas in healthcare that it's expanded a lot of stuff that I do. And you'll find out whenever you join ABS that this business actually broadens a lot of what you do in the healthcare industry. So this is a great part of being a part of ABS and the 30 years that it's been around. Adam Phillips is our CEO. Some of you may be talking with Adam, or you may have talked with Adam. If anybody that's on here today and you'd like to have a conversation with Adam outside of the sales rep that you're working with, he'll be more than happy, I'm sure, to take your call. Adam's written a book called The 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. He co-wrote that book with Dr. Vicki Rackner. Dr. Vicki Rackner is on our board of directors here at Myrma, and I'll share that with you here in just a moment. But she was a general surgeon who has joined us in helping us share really some things that we can help you with, and as you're going and getting your clients there. Adam's also written an article on the advancement of artificial intelligence in healthcare. He and I did a webinar not too long ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, on the advancements of what's going on there and actually how it's helping billing. It's not going to hurt you from having that as part of your repertoire of what you have there and in medical billing. So I think you're going to be just fine as you go through that, and you'll find out that it's actually going to be very, very helpful. Myrma is the organization that you'll be a part of once you've joined and completed the training here at American Business Systems. As I mentioned, Dr. Vicki Rackner is our medical director on the board of that. And she has certainly helped us out so much. But this is the organization also that is going to certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. You can see that we're not talking about certified medical billers, okay? That's a completely separate group of folks. What you've got to understand here is that you're getting into the business of revenue cycle management, which includes billing. So a lot of people kind of look at us and go, gosh, could this be a side gig of what I do and can do some medical billing from home? And the answer is absolutely yes. And we're going to teach you everything that you're going to need to be taught on how to process claims and get those claims out to everybody, all the insurance companies out there. But what we also teach you and help you get going here and launch your business here is everything from your name, what you're going to call your business, to getting your website set up, to helping you and assisting you, making sure that you've got all the right entities set up, and then how to get the business, how to run the business. So it's basically soup to nuts here, what we have for you. So Myrma is the organization that will certify you and they'll take you through your training. Now, before we actually get involved in the unlocking the business opportunity in medical billing, I thought I'd ask this question because as we're changing from the year 2024 going into 2025 now, I know a lot of you are probably asking the question, is there really a market in medical billing? Can I make a business out of revenue cycle management? So first of all, I want you to kind of get that scope of it down. Think of it as revenue cycle management. Kind of start thinking about it that way. I would actually encourage you to Google that or whatever way that you like to search the internet and do some research on revenue cycle management, what it all entails about, okay? That's going to give you a pretty good understanding of what this business is all about, okay? Obviously, it's dealing with doctors. I used to love what Patrick used to say. He used to say, this is a very clean type business. This is a revenue management business, okay? So don't think of it just as all the codes, and I'm going to certainly talk about those here in just a moment. But it truly is helping someone like a doctor who has been struggling with their financials and making sure that they're getting paid. Again, on average, as you'll see here on this next slide, there are about 2 out of every 3 doctors who say they're just basically squeaking by or getting in the red financially. And how is that? You would think that doctors, as much money as that you think that they make, are making enough money to do all the things that they need to do. But it's surprising, might be surprising to you, that you're going to find some doctors out there who have actually had to take some short-term loans just to make sure that they make payroll. Why is that? That is because that you'll see here that a lot of money that is wasted on the administrative and the billing expenses, as you can see here from the New England Journal of Medicine. That's quite a bit of money if you think about it. That's 24% of what's being brought in, just sometimes a lot of it just being wasted. And it really goes in more into that because hopefully I'll have some time to kind of dive into that a little bit today. Where is this money being lost? Where is this money going, or where is it not going? We certainly know it's not going to the doctor's pockets, because if they had that going on, they wouldn't actually need what you would think of as a revenue cycle management specialist. And that's what you become here, because we're going to look at more than just the billing side of it. So we'll explain that a little bit more. But for you, I'm trying to help you forecast, is there a future? Is there a market in this? And we believe so. Now, there's a group out there, as you can see here. It's called the Research and Markets Foundation, and I've already got, and there's a little URL code down there if you'd like to go back and check that out. But on a global scale, revenue cycle management is in the billions of dollars, and it's going to increase, as you can see there, from 136 billion to 286 billion in the next 4 years. So folks, we are really in a great growth market. It's growing on an average about 14% per year, okay? So that's a compound annual growth rate if you think of it. It's not just sitting there and getting to 14. There's a compounding of that that's happening all the time there. So there is a lot of money to be made on the revenue cycle management side of it. So I hope to answer your question there. Is there a market for it? We believe that there is, and I believe that you'll find it to be very rewarding for you as you're looking into getting started in a particular business. Now, I'm going to get started with the actual topic, unlock your future with medical billing, because many of you here are trying to figure out whether you want to stay with your current job, or a lot of you are entrepreneurs. Some of you may have even multiple businesses. We've dealt with a lot of folks here that actually run multiple businesses. So we understand that some of you can be very creative and get other people to hire to maybe even do the marketing for your business, maybe even end up doing the actual billing part of it. We've had a lot of what I call professional business people come into this business and actually get this started and then bring on other people to do the work for them. Now, many of you are just private entrepreneurs. You want to be able to make this happen for yourself, and you can do that. And that's why we're here to help service those that are what we kind of think of as the mom and pops that want to stay home and take care of their business and do their business and grow their business here, or even for those executive people who want to build more of a greater, more of a kind of an empire-ish type of business system here. So I got some questions that are coming in. I'm gonna get rid of some of these folks here. Eric, again, I appreciate you sharing that you're from California. Thank you for doing that. Melee, I see again you're from California. Teresa's from North Carolina. Now, some of you didn't pipe in here, and I see that you're over here. I see Pamela and Stan and Teresa and William and Ashok and Borgia. Hopefully, I got your name in Carolina or Carolina. So, folks, y'all can put in some where you're from there. Right now, we've got Melee is pumping out some questions here, so I'll get some of those here in a moment. Satosh is from Michigan, so good to have you here as well. All right, let me see about some of your questions that are coming in. Can multiple people attend the training? Yes, okay. So let me reserve some of that. You got a lot of great questions, and I'm going to share. Melee, hold on to those questions. I'm going to get through some of that here in just a moment. First of all, I want to talk about the initial investment here at American Business Systems and what you get with the package here. Okay, so when we say that you're getting everything from soup to nuts, you're getting basically everything from soup to nuts. There's not going to be a lot more that you're going to have to invest outside of the financial end of it. There's going to be obviously some time investment that you're going to need to invest in this business. Because even once you start, nobody knows that you're really out there in business until you start marketing and letting people know that you're out there. And I hate to say the word marketing because it gets so confusing with sales, and a lot of people don't really consider themselves to be salespeople. But we're having a conversation here this afternoon. Let me kind of just share with you marketing or anything along those lines. That's nothing more than you letting other people know that you're in business in a certain sector of business. This is in healthcare business. I have had great success working with other individuals who are in the healthcare industry. We're always teaming up. We're always trying to find other networking opportunities that we can go to together. And folks, that's how you find your first client. That's how I've done it. That's how a lot of other ABS business owners have done it. So it's not where you're having to go cold call and knock on doors with doctors. And this is going to get that off the table. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't do that, but we have found basically once you know that you're going to be in the healthcare sector, we're going to kind of help you find these where other healthcare people are in the business. Folks, just think about it. And again, I'm trying to say all this even before I go to the next slide. So it's not that I'm stuck here on this one slide. I'm just really trying to have this conversation with you. You've got a lot of different people in healthcare that's not even in billing. You got folks that are in the nursing home business. There are folks that are out there in the home healthcare business. There are people out there in the supply medical needs for offices. You've got folks that are servicing doctors for their insurance. You've got you got people out there servicing doctors for real estate. And so, folks, whenever you start getting those people around you and they start understanding what you do, you're going to find out that those people are going to be the people referring you to their already clients. Okay. That's how we're going to help you unlock, get your first client. But let's first of all talk about the package. So the package is $30,000. It does include everything that you're going to need from the time that you get started, through your training, through your certification, through all the marketing material that you're going to have and need, your website, all the other parts and the pieces that you're going to need, the actual billing platform, the electronic medical records platform. For those that want to venture out and help doctors with their credentialing, we actually have that supplied for you. For those that want to help doctors with their HIPAA compliancy parts that they need, especially going into 2025, it's a great need right now. You're getting everything. So all that's coming together in an all-inclusive investment of a $30,000 investment. It is one of the lowest this is one of the lowest investments out there and can give you the biggest return on it. I don't have it in these slides today, but let's just talk through that. Let me share with you that one doctor will generate about $50,000 to $65,000 in revenue your first year. Now, if you think about it, having your return on investment within the first year with just one doctor is incredible. And remember, it's not another $30,000 when you bring on another doctor. That's a one-time $30,000 investment. So that means your second doctor, you're free and clear of your basically your investment there. And you keep compounding that. Once you've got 2 or 3 doctors, you've well made your return on investment. And there's no other fees or royalty fees or franchise fees that you're going to have to deal with us, including even when we bring on new services. There's not even that you have to deal with. So this is what's included in our investment. And again, like I said, it is a one-time investment and it's everything included. And as of now, I have not heard any increase here from this. Now, it doesn't mean it may not happen sometime in 2025, but there is no increase on this investment. Now, I think there might be some incentives for you, for those that maybe want to have some, some discussions about having other people maybe join you in your training. But that you certainly can talk with your sales rep there. But I want to also show you what other people are charging that are in the same industry, and they're basically giving you the same thing that we're giving you. And I've just found out that they're actually going on an increase. They're going from a $30,000 investment on their basic to a $42,000 investment. All right. And then you can see that it goes up from there. And you can see even their preferred is not even going to be available anymore in 2025. So they're going to have 2 basic packages, one for $42,000 and another one for $55,000. So you can see that basically for what you're getting from American Business Systems, we are really way below of what anybody else is charging. Because when you become part of American Business Systems, as being where we have been over the last 30 years, we're more important about joining and creating a network of independent medical billing companies. And we are and have become the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies. And with that, since we are bringing in and helping you grow your business with all these different solutions, if there are any increases of what ABS can make, it's coming from those folks there and not from our business owners here at American Business Systems. But what I mean by that is that whenever you're starting to use one of the solutions like an iClaim or an EMRX, when you're using those platforms, which the doctors will have to pay for because they're already paying some type of service, whether they are on a web-based service or they even on an older server-based service, they're paying some monthly fees to keep that software going. So this is a nominal thing that doctors are paid for all the time. We're going to show you how to include that in your pricing so that you can either pay for it for the doctor, or again, the doctor pays for it in their invoices to you. Regardless of all of that, ABS makes a little bit of money on the back end from those solution providers. So that's how we're able to continue to keep growth here at ABS. We're not having to nickel and dime you. We're not having to go up on our cost. As you can see there, we are bringing solutions to the table to help expand your business model and all the different solutions that can come together. That, again, is why we are pulling together the nation's largest group of independent medical billing companies in the United States. It's because we're all networking and doing this together. Now, one of the things that you're also going to get with American Business Systems is a website that, and this is, I say this is a website. This is your solutions for support. We do not charge you any more for support. It comes with a lifetime of support here at American Business Systems, and it's mainly through, and it's not just mainly through, you'll see why I say mainly through what's called our licensee support site. And you can see here, there's an 800 number there. It's 866-565-8413. It's the same number that you would talk to somebody here at ABS. Except when you press 2, that gets you directly to support. Now, if you try to do that now, whoever answers the phone is obviously going to ask you who you are and when you became a business owner here at ABS. Obviously, if you're not in their database, you're not going to get any answers. However, if you are, you'll always end up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You'll always end up talking with somebody here within the United States. It's not serviced over across seas. Our support is all US based, and it's serviced by other people who have also been an ABS business owner, just like myself. Just like most of the people here at ABS, we've all done medical billing. We've all gone out there. We've all done the work to get business and get doctors and bill for them. We've all done that. And that's what you're getting here through support. But the support site, let's say you got questions after hours. Mainly all the questions you're going to have is going to go through this particular site here. It's called the ABS LSS. That's the licensee support site. And anytime we actually have new services, like I got an email today stating that there's a new service coming on for 2025, which means all the other people that have been that are business owners already here at American Business Systems got that alert as well. And what's going to happen here, I believe this is coming Friday, we're actually going to have a webinar specifically for the ABS business owners to go through and listen to what's going on with the new service, how to service it, how to present it, how to market out there to their doctors and their clients, and actually get more money for the doctors while you're making more money. And folks, that's why the investment here at $30,000 is such a deal, because when we bring on new services, this is going to help you unlock your future, because we're not, again, never have been one of those types of companies that want to nickel and dime you as you go through. The other thing that you're going to get is live online training. And whenever I say live online training, we're literally talking about just like what we're doing right now. You will, instead of seeing me, you'll have the instructor there teaching you everything that you're going to need to know. First of all, how to get the business, how to go through all the acronyms, how to just know anything and everything you're going to need to know about the medical billing business, and get you started on what we call a quick start program, how to get that first client so that you can start billing right away. Now, this is, again, it's going to be, it's almost like an online training / coaching model to where we're helping you get your business up and going. This is after you get through with this particular training. This is when you become certified as a certified medical revenue manager. And so this online training is there for you. Now, it's going to take you about 10 modules to get through, take you anywhere from 10 to 15 days to get through it. And that's going to be important as I kind of wrap up this afternoon. The other thing that we'll do, we'll actually do live demo marketing for you. As you can see here demonstrated, I've got over to the left side of the screen, I got a group of doctors. Then I've got a gal over here who's just basically representing one of our representatives here at American Business Systems. And what we're doing here, we're literally going through the entire process of the doctor to help you land that doctor as a client. We know once we've helped you get to this point that about 50% of the doctors that you see on the left-hand side are actually signing the agreement with you. Again, we don't know of any other business out there that's actually helping and doing the live demonstration marketing for you, for your clients. We want to handhold you through this, through your first client, from the very beginning to once that client has given you basically your first check. Now, remember, there's no money coming back to us. We don't take a percentage. We don't charge you to do the demonstrations. And why is that? Because we know that once you've got that doctor signed up on iClaim, then iClaim is actually on the back end, again, sharing some of their profits back to ABS because we brought more business to that particular software platform. So that's how we continue to keep making our money here. And that's why we don't have to keep asking you for money for further support or anything else, or even raising the cost of where it is right now at the $30,000 investment. Plus, you're going to get all these professional marketing tools. All of these that you're seeing here are on 8.5 by 11 thick, glossy type paper that you'll have immediately. The great thing about it is you're going to get a sample of these so that you get started with your trainer. Your trainer is actually going to teach you and show you how to actually utilize the flyers, and then you'll see the book to the left-hand side where it says the New Thriving Medical Practice and Adam's book, New 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. These become your marketing tools. Excuse me. You remember when I mentioned earlier about getting to some of these healthcare networking groups. I want to surround myself with others that are in the healthcare industry. And I want them to know that I'm in the business of helping doctors collect more money than they're losing right now. On average, I can gain them about another 10 to 20% more income if they actually outsource their billing. I can actually prove that by doing what's called a practice analysis. There's no cost, there's no obligation to a doctor. Now, if I'm sharing that with somebody that I know within the healthcare field and they're dealing with Dr. Jones down the road, or they're dealing with Dr. Smith downtown, or somebody, and they've got a good relationship, I'm just simply asking them, hey, Sally, hey, Heather, whatever, whoever that might be. All I need is just a small audience with the office manager. Allow me to do a quick snapshot practice analysis for them. No obligation. If they find it to be useful or resourceful, then we can have some discussions. Folks, whenever you can start to show a practice manager or the office manager or the doctor or even the spouse of the doctor that you're able to increase those revenues by closing the gap on claims that are being denied right at the first, because we're catching all of that right at the first, and with these other solutions like Quick Collect, or because this is going to be very helpful in going into 2025 whenever patients are having higher deductibles. They need a way to pay that off. Quick Collect actually helps them to do that, and they can do that on a monthly basis. So there's a lot of things here that are actually helping the doctor increase their revenue, but along the side of that, you're actually increasing your own revenue as well. So you're going to have one other thing before I leave the screen. All of these are going to be personalized with your name on it, not just your personal name, but your business name. Your name will be actually in the book of the New Thriving Medical Practice, because we've got a spot there for you to have written the foreword to the book. We're going to put your name on the front cover. We can print these on demand. We can get you 1 or 2 copies. We can get you 25 copies, whatever you need. We're going to help you get that, okay? And same thing with all the flyers here. That all will be on there. Plus, now you're going to get coaching. Coaching is going to help you with your potential clients that you're working with or potentially going to work with. Let's say that you need to talk with somebody or have an ABS coach who is already doing billing. These aren't people that we've hired just to kind of help you coach you. These are people that are already ABS business owners already, and they're here to help you through the Myrma organization. Let's say that you do run into a group, a cardiologist group, or a general surgeon group, or a chiropractic group, or whatever, and you just need some help coaching your way through this. They'll even help you with some of the phone calls and the initial part of that, and being on those, sometimes they'll be with you on those calls when you're just trying to have that first discussion with the doctor and helping you, making sure that you're answering those questions correctly. So folks, everything I've shown you so far is basically what you're getting from us. You're getting coaching, you're getting support, you're getting the material, you're getting your training, you're getting everything that I've said so far. It's all locked in there. It's your training and support part of what ABS is going to give or deliver for you and to help you get to that first client. Now, we're already at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to check on and see if there's any particular questions that have come in that trying to see through here. So a question did come in here. I see it all the way down here at the bottom. So Teresa, I appreciate you asking about this. Did you say that the software is not included in the $30,000 investment? Teresa, the way that this works here, let's go back over here to iClaim. I'm going to go back over to here, and you can see where it says iClaim and EMRX, okay? The package comes with all the necessary things that you're going to need, okay? You're actually going to have an account to use to do all of your demonstrations and show all of that to the doctors. But whenever it comes time for it to get the doctor set up, every doctor has to use their NPI and all of their tax ID to get them launched into the billing system, okay, the software system, okay. This is not like a software where we're selling you a piece of software that you can go take and go sell it or resell it to doctors out there, because that's what a lot of other people will do. And plus, who wants to keep up with software updates and upgrades, okay? So everything that has over the last few years gone completely in the cloud as we know it, whether it's the iClaim platform, whether it's NextGen, whether it's Practice Fusion, whatever billing software or practice management systems is out there on the market, all of it is done by some type of monthly subscription to them. That's the same thing that we do with iClaim. And this isn't a customary payment or a customary fee that doctors already know that they're paying. Now, one of the things that we do, and I did, so I'm going to speak from my experience, Teresa. Whenever I did the billing for my doctors, what I did, I charged them enough on a percentage that whenever I did their billing, I included or I kind of wrapped in that monthly fee within my billing fee. So that whenever I went to the doctors, whenever I presented them a percentage fee, I knew that percentage fee was going to cover the cost of the software. Does that make sense? So for the doctor, it's a clean wash through, or for them that they'll know that, I mean, you can do it either way. You can have a percentage of what you charge the doctor plus what it costs them to use iClaim, or vice versa. You can do it either way. So either way is helpful. And they've been, obviously, we've been around for 30 years doing it this way. We would not be successful or had the success that our business partners have had and I call them our business partners. Our business owners are our business partners of what we do here at American Business System. So hopefully that helped you answer your question there. We got some folks here. Eileen is from Massachusetts. Thank you for joining us here on Mountain. And Carolina is from Miami, Florida. Good to see you here. All right. There's some other questions here I'm going to get to maybe a little bit towards the end. Melee, I haven't forgotten about you, but I have you got some great questions that I actually want to end up with. Okay, so those are great questions. So just know that those are going to be answered here. All right, moving on to what I consider to be the heartbeat of obviously everything that we do, and that is, what is medical billing? I really want to make sure that you understand what we're dealing with here. And I'm going to kind of go over a little bit. I'm going to kind of get a little bit in the weeds here on medical billing. I'm not going to get too deep. I'm just going to share with you what medical billing is in the first place. So let's just kind of go through this. Once doctors see their patients, there are either two ways the doctors are going to get paid. They're either going to get paid from or from the patient themselves. That's more of a cash pay, which is just, money on the barrel type thing, as we used to say. Or they're going to present an insurance, some type of insurance, whether it's Medicare, Cigna, Aetna, whatever it may be. That's what gets presented. So then somebody at that point from that doctor's office is going to have to take that information and then know that when the doctor's through with seeing that patient, someone's going to have to file a claim to that particular insurance company. So medical billing is basically this, is the process of filing a medical insurance claim with the health insurance companies. Okay. That's really all that it is. It's not a scary thing. You don't have to worry about the codes. And I'm going to share with you about the codes here in a moment because the codes are going to come from the doctor's office to you to present it. It's almost like you're filling out the form for them, but you're just doing it electronically. But once you filled out that form for them, you got to send it off and then manage that revenue as it's coming in. Okay. If a claim does get denied for whatever reason, you need to go fix that claim. So that's basically what medical billing is. So again, I hear everybody say, but yes, what about the codes? Folks, it's the doctor's responsibility to provide the medical codes to the billing company. Now, with iClaim and EMRX, I say that because now we've got three different types of platform labeled under iClaim that will actually do all the billing for you. And in each one of those, the doctors are using an electronic medical records platform, EMRX. So when the doctors are seeing their patients, it's actually helping the doctor code properly. Matter of fact, on some of our platforms, the doctors can just talk and have that conversation with the patient and artificial intelligence. I think the question came up earlier about artificial intelligence. That's actually picking up the conversation and creating what's called the SOAP note for the doctor. The SOAP note is is an acronym for the word subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. That's all part of revenue cycle management. Excuse me. So basically, when you go to see the doctor's going to see you. They're going to subjectively ask you questions. Why are you here? What hurts and all that. They're going to objectively look at you. They're going to examine you. They're going to find out what objectively they find. They're going to make an assessment by what you've said and what they find. They make an assessment. Then they put the plan together. And in that process, what comes out and spits out are two separate codes. Those codes are basically numbers or alphanumeric numbers that the insurance companies obviously recognize. And those two codes include the diagnosis code, that's what's wrong or the medical condition of the patient, and the procedure code, what the doctor did for the patient. They reviewed them, they looked them over, they gave an injection, they did whatever. Whatever they did, that's a procedure. And that code is the reimbursement code of what is filed to an insurance claim. So again, that's what it is. Medical billing is nothing more than taking the codes from the doctor on a particular patient, one being the diagnosis code, the other one being the procedure code, filing that insurance claim there. Now, let's talk about in-house billing challenges, because a lot of you are probably thinking, well, don't the doctors already have a medical biller? And doesn't it make more sense for a doctor to do it in-house versus having an outsource? Well, first of all, there's a lack of quality and effective medical billing resources for that particular office. Now, here at American Business System, since you're part of the nation's largest independent group of medical billers, we have a huge resource, especially through our support system, to help you daily, and that's all you're focused on. Remember, folks, if you're dealing with a doctor who has a biller in-house, I bet you $1 to donuts that they would say that person's doing more than just revenue cycle management. They're ending up doing things where there's somebody that's off, they're sick or something, and somebody needs to do something. The doctor's going to ask somebody to pick up the slack there and help out with that. The second thing is the trouble of staying up to date with the latest guidelines. Here at American Business Systems, we're in it constantly. So our support team are always finding out what new codes are coming out or how things are changing throughout the year, what's going to be paid, whether modifiers go with what particular code. We're staying up to date on that. There are a lot of folks that have gone to school. They become what's called certified medical billers, and that's all the resources and the guidelines that they've ever gone back. They never go back and try to figure out what can I do differently to help increase this doctor's revenue. And this kind of leads us into the frequent code changes and increase of which increase claims denials. You could be filing claims and claims and claims. You're getting paid. Matter of fact, my daughter started her medical billing company through American Business Systems, and she found it with the same thing with one of her doctors that she was doing billing for. Found out that the doctor was making claims, actually getting paid, and all of a sudden, whenever she picked up and she found out what was going on, not with her, but from the previous biller that was billing, and the doctor was wondering why The doctor wasn't getting paid. They found out that something had changed. Something so slightly had changed. She went back, refiled those claims, got the doctor paid. Obviously, she became a hero to the doctor. And then late handling of denied and rejected claims. You've got a small window to deal with denied and rejected claims. So you take all of this in a very busy doctor's office. That's where a lot of challenges come from. That's why we help encourage doctors to get their billing out of the office, let someone do this day in and day out, focused on nothing more than getting that doctor pay. Matter of fact, some of you may have seen this chart. You've seen it in the past, but you can kind of see the comparison of what it might cost to have employees in a doctor's office versus just simply outsourcing that billing. Obviously, the doctor's going to have to pay someone to do their billing. They might as well have it outsourced, and it might as well be on a percentage versus having a full-time employee. Okay. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We're getting about 20 more minutes before we got to the top of the hour, and I've got more stuff to share with you. And I know that questions are over there, so I haven't ignored them, and I'm going to get back to them just real quickly. But one of the things that we see here that we have is we have an advantage of outsourcing through our platforms that is in the cloud, and it allows us to connect directly to the insurance companies through what's called our clearinghouse. Our clearinghouse is actually built inside of our billing system. Some might argue that this is a disadvantage. We find it as a great advantage because number one, you as a brand new medical billing company do not have to figure out how to go find a clearinghouse and then connect that. We have it inside of ours already, but this allows us to do some claim scrubbing with some proprietary information in the software to find out whether that claim's either going to be rejected at the clearinghouse or again at the insurance company. Now, having the clearinghouse built inside of the billing system, wouldn't that be better off to have that because that allows you to be able to scrub those claims basically like you're going through the clearinghouse immediately. Then, whenever you're processing those claims, you're going to get that doctor paid within 7 to 10 days or less. Again, you're doing what we're doing here. So those are some of the advantages of having a built-in clearinghouse. Obviously, there's a patient portal. Doctors don't have to deal with all of that. We've got all that handled for them. Again, advantages of outsourcing. There's mobile charting. Obviously, it's much more affordable. And folks, again, I'm going to talk on the affordability here. Again, actually having a piece of software that I would pick up and own, and I know that I could load it on my computer, is not the most advantaged part of everything because it can get expensive because you're having to deal with security, you're having to keep up with updates, you're having to deal with that. Folks, everything again has moved to the cloud to do what it needs to do. It makes it so much easier and simpler and much more clean that I, as a medical billing company, remember, I'm not just doing this because I'm a biller. I'm doing it because I'm an owner of a company. To me, that's one less headache that I have to deal with. Okay. All right, some advantages of outsourcing. Let's deal with that. It streamlines the entire medical billing process, everything from the patient scheduling to collections. And whenever I say everything from patient scheduling to collections, we're talking about even getting the patient's information into the system correctly. If you haven't seen a demonstration of our software, please get back with your sales rep and have them show you why it's so important to have this information grabbed from the insurance company, like a Blue Cross Blue Shield or Medicare, by the way, and pull all that information into the system directly instead of you having to actually type that out. The other thing is to boost profitability due to a focused effort by independent medical billing companies. What does that mean? Simply is that if I am the owner of a medical billing company, I know that I'm going to get paid until the doctor gets paid. And I want to make sure I get paid on 100% of the claims that I file. All right, so let that sink in a moment. The advantage of getting that doctor's claims out of their office versus having someone else do it in-house that maybe gone to school and become a certified medical biller, that person gets a salary, all right? And they're going to get paid whether or not the doctor's claims get filed or paid or not. Now, they may say that they're good at what they do, But there's nothing like having the incentive that if I don't get the work, the performance of the claim paid, I know that I'm not getting paid. That's the medical billing company. Listen, I want to make sure that that doctor is getting paid on 100% of those claims. And if I've got one or two that slip through, that's going to happen ever so often. But I'm not letting 20 to 25 slip through because I know that impacts my invoicing where it comes down to the doctors. It reduces the amount of claim rejections. Why? Because I'm catching claim rejections, excuse me, before I'm actually sending those out to the insurance company. And then there's a focused approach of accounts receivable follow-ups to produce a positive cash flow for those doctors. That's the advantage of getting that done. So I've drawn a little picture here so you can kind of see what it means to have your clearinghouse literally built inside the system. You can see this. It's not sitting outside the system. So that means that whenever we're processing claims, we're literally processing claims and going through the clearinghouse at the same time. So the only other spot that it goes to are insurance companies just to get those paid, get those turned around, get those paid back to the doctor. All right. As we're starting to wrap up here, I'm just going to quickly go through a couple of highlights of the of some of the services that are included with your one-time investment here at American Business Systems. Obviously, you have iClaim. What is that here to do? It's help to bring those doctors their money much quicker. We're able to capture data for their patients directly from the insurance companies through iClaim because, again, that built-in clearinghouse is inside of there. Again, the EMRX has built-in artificial intelligence in it. So again, instead of the doctors just punching on in what used to be a very nice way of collecting the data from a patient, instead of just punching buttons on their iPad or through their computer now, they can literally talk through that and make sure that they capture all the data they need. Coding resources. Obviously, there's going to be some times when you're going to need some help, assistance with coding. There are going to be some doctors that you may end up getting who need a coder. We have a resource called CodeWrite that will actually produce and help you get the codes just directly from the doctor's notes. If the doctor just hands you all their notes and you don't know what to code that with, you have a certified professional coder that will take that. You scan it over to them, they'll get that taken, get it back to you. Now, the other part of those certified professional coders is the auditing resources that's available. One of the things that I like to do, and one of the things I've done for a couple of my doctors before I started doing their billing, I actually ran them through an audit, which means that I told the doctor, I said, look, what we're going to do, doc, I'd like for you to invest a little bit of money, doctor, to make sure that we both get started on the right foot. How about you utilize my certified professional coders and let's do our own audit as if you were going through a Medicare audit or through an audit with Blue Cross Blue Shield. What that'll do, it'll help you and I, doctor, make sure that number one, if you got any issues with coding, we're going to correct that immediately. We're also going to get the feedback from those certified professional coders to say, if there's some things that we know that we can go back and get, I can get those rebuilt for you. So let's do that. You can find a lot of gaps that way. And the doctors really understand what you're trying to do for them if you're utilizing that properly. Compliancy Guard is another service. Obviously, now we're changing from 2025 going into 2024, going into 2025. Doctors need to update all of their HIPAA compliancy rules and regulations and certifications within their organization. Compliancy Guard as a service can help them do that. You just get the doctor signed up. The doctors are paying for this. You're going to make a residual out of this and get the doctors going. Accounts receivables, right now, deductibles are about to go up. High deductibles, doctors need a way to help collect those deductibles over a period of time. Choice pay is the way to do that. If there's any type of collections or past money that needs to go be taken care of, instead of sending their clients, their patients, to a collection agency, which just ruins the doctor-patient relationship. Why not put them on a way that we can preserve that collections over through a period of time, and it makes it so much easier and nicer to do. I mentioned to you earlier that you're going to get a proof of outsourcing and how that's going to work. That proof is done through the practice analysis questionnaire. This is about a 4 to 5 page long document This is something you're going to sit down kneecap to kneecap with the doctors, preparing them. This is a free thing that you're going to offer doctors, and just making sure that they're, if nothing else, doc, let's just see if you're healthy financially. Because what I'm going to produce for you, doc, is this report here. And on this report, it's going to show you how many claims that you produce in a month's time. It's going to show us also how many claims that you think or your staff thinks gets rejected. We're also going to include all of your fees that you're already being charged, especially if you're maintaining your own software and you're having to deal with that, doctor. There's a cost of that. There's IT fees, there's security fees, everything that you go through with that. That alone, many times, just trying to maintain that system is more expensive than having a subscription to iClaim or some of these others that we utilize. But we pull all that money, all that data in there, and then we put in our projections, where we know where we're good at. And a lot of times we're going to find out that in this situation, which is a real one that was done on this particular doctor's office, there could have been an increase of about 58% increase in revenue just getting the billing out of that doctor's office. Okay. Now, let me ask you, for those of you who are a little bit afraid of selling, do you think you have to have any trouble selling this to a doctor when you're giving them another $10,000 a month? Again, we're going to produce that online demonstration for them. We'll prove all that for the doctors. Also, if you want to get a copy of Dr. Vicki Rackner's book, The Myth of the Rich Doctor, I tell you right, I'm going to do it for you today. For those that have stayed on, there are some people that have gotten on, and I can see that they've dropped off. I've had one or two people drop off. But those that have stayed on, what I'd like for you to do is get back with your sales rep and ask them for a PDF copy of The Myth of the Rich Doctor by Dr. Vicki Rackner. Read that between now and the next time we meet again, which is going to be next Wednesday. One of the great things that Dr. Rackner has done for our ABS business owners is that she will actually write a letter of recommendation to a potential doctor that you have discovered. She'll tell that doctor, hey, dear doctor, are you leaving money on the exam table? And she writes this beautiful letter. And she goes, I've got a solution for you if you'll just listen to the person I'm recommending, which could be Elias or Lorden or Melee or whoever it might be that's on the webinar today. I've got somebody I need for you to listen to because they're going to do a practice analysis for you. And you might find out that you got money slipping through your fingers with the book that Adam and Dr. Vicki Rackner wrote there too. You'll be able to have a copy of these books that you'll be able to hand out. We're actually going to show you how to get this into the doctor's hands without ever having to step into a doctor's office. That book and the New Thriving Medical Practice book are yours as part of the business package to help you, again, unlock your future here in medical billing. And again, your name goes on the front cover of the book, and you get to write or edit or update the forward. We got a template there already. You can take it and run with it, or you can add to it if you want to. But again, folks, this is all that you're getting in the package. So